Welcome back to Review Lens. Today is Jack the Ripper Day, and if dark, creepy mysteries are your thing, you've probably heard of From Hell, the 2001 thriller starring Johnny Depp and Heather Graham. Based on the graphic novel by Alan Moore and Eddie Campbell, From Hell dives into one of the most famous crimes of all time, the Jack the Ripper murders. It's a movie packed with grit, gruesome twists, and a chilling atmosphere that stays with you long after the credits roll. Depp plays Inspector Frederick Aberline, a troubled detective trying to solve the brutal murders in London's Whitechapel district. With its mix of horror, history, and mystery, From Hell has become a dark gem that's worth revisiting for lovers of crime thrillers. And today, we're going deep into the fog to uncover what made this movie stand out, plus some fun facts you may not know about its making. What sets From Hell apart is the way it dives into the grimy streets of Victorian London. You can almost feel the damp fog and smell the decay. The Hughes brothers, the duo behind the camera, made sure that the setting itself felt like a character in the story. It wasn't just about solving a murder, it was about being immersed in a world where danger lurked around every corner. The way the gaslights flicker, the cobblestones gleam, and the shadows stretch make this movie a visual masterpiece. And the fog? It's not just for looks. It's there to keep you guessing about what's around the next corner. Creepy, right? Johnny Depp's role as Inspector Aberline is one of his more subdued performances. Instead of being the loud, quirky character we know him for, Pirates of the Caribbean, anyone? He plays Aberline with a quiet intensity. What's cool is that Depp wanted Aberline to feel real, even if the film itself took creative liberties with the facts. In real life, the real Inspector Aberline wasn't a tortured, opium-smoking psychic as he's portrayed in the movie, but Depp loved digging into that darker, fictionalized version of the character. He once called the role a chance to explore a broken man stuck in a world more twisted than himself. Pretty bleak, but true to the film's tone. And speaking of twists, From Hell isn't shy about diving into conspiracy theories. The movie suggests that the Ripper murders were part of a massive cover-up involving the British royal family and Freemasons. Now, historians have debunked this theory, but for a movie, it's juicy stuff. Alan Moore, who co-wrote the graphic novel the film is based on, was less than thrilled about how Hollywood handled his intricate story. He felt the film oversimplified the plot. But for audiences, the royal conspiracy adds a thrilling layer of drama, and it keeps you guessing about who the real villain is. Now, how about some fun behind-the-scenes trivia? First of all, the set design in From Hell is shockingly detailed. The film wasn't shot in London, even though it looks spot on. Instead, most of it was filmed in Prague. The production team painstakingly recreated old Whitechapel's narrow streets and grimy buildings to give the movie its authentic feel. In fact, Prague was so convincing that first-time viewers often assumed the movie used real London locations. Another fun fact, Johnny Depp used historical research to shape his performance. While the psychic visions in the movie are pure fiction, Depp studied the Ripper case and read about Aberline to bring realism to his role. Depp is also known for using unique inspirations for his performances. For From Hell, he aimed to give Aberline an understated, eerie charm, equal parts haunted and determined. And in case you're wondering, yes, Depp rocks that Victorian-era look. Long coat? Check. Sideburns? Check. He makes Inspector Aberline look effortlessly cool, even in such grim circumstances. Oh, and let's not forget Heather Graham, who plays Mary Kelly, one of the unfortunate sex workers caught up in the Ripper's path. Graham's casting caused a bit of a stir because many critics felt she looked too clean and polished for the role. Victorian London's working class had pretty rough lives, after all. But what you might not know is that the filmmakers intentionally styled her appearance to give Mary a hopeful image. She's the movie's emotional heart, someone you root for, even as the horror's close in. Now let's talk blood. The murder scenes in From Hell are brutal but not overly graphic, though they still leave an impact. Fun fact, the filmmakers used gallons of fake blood, but it was specifically toned down during editing to avoid turning the movie into a full-on gore fest. The Hughes brothers wanted the horror to feel psychological, not just visual. The sound design also plays a huge role here. The eerie mix of whispers, footsteps, and distant cries keeps you on edge throughout the film. One of the coolest hidden details in From Hell is its use of color. Pay close attention to how the reds stand out in certain scenes. From the victim's blood to Aberline's visions, red is used to signal danger, death, and chaos. The rest of the movie is dark and muted, so those bursts of color hit even harder. It's subtle, but it adds to the film's unsettling vibe. There's also some real-life history baked into the film. While a lot of the plot is fictionalized, the movie does incorporate details ripped straight from Jack the Ripper lore. For example, some of the dialogue paraphrases the infamous From Hell letter, which many believe was written by the Ripper himself. The letter's name inspired the title of both the graphic novel and the movie, tying truth and fiction together in a clever way. The cast had a great time on set, but shooting wasn't always easy. Those foggy streets? They were mood-enhancing, sure, but they were also freezing cold. Graham later joked in interviews about how she spent a lot of the film shivering during the late-night shoots. And despite Prague being convincing, the actors had to pretend they were walking through the filth of 19th century London. So what's your take on From Hell? Is it an underrated classic or a film that deserves to stay in the shadows? Are you as hooked on Jack the Ripper lore as the rest of us? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the movies you love, or maybe the ones you didn't see coming. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more reviews and deep dives into great movies like this one. I think I'm going to head over to Whitechapel District and see what's going on. See ya on the next one, and remember, save us a balcony seat and extra butter on the popcorn.